Hi guys, Grand J here and welcome to another one of our videos. Today is another unboxing video and today we're going to be unboxing the new 2-player starter set for the Final Fantasy TCG. It's a special starter deck release. It's called Knights and Wraiths, or Wraiths vs Knights. You get two 50 card decks in here. There's a lot of great cards, so let's open up and have a look. So, yeah, this is a great deck for both like beginners and experienced players to both pick up. So if you're a beginner and you've got a mate, it's great. You can pick this up so you and a friend can play this at home. Yeah, and then cool. So it looks like we get the usual quick start rules. Yep. Gives you a basic outline of how to play the game. That being said though, if you're a Magic the Gathering player, the game's going to be pretty easy for you to pick up and learn. If you're someone that hasn't played too many like trading card games, then yeah, you probably should get a friend to run you through the game. But the game is not too difficult to learn, especially if you played like card games before. But let's get started. Let's get started with the Wraith side. So put this aside. So I still haven't really quite looked at what's in these yet. So this is going to be a surprise for me as well. And here we have our first struggle, figuring out where's the tab. I think I found it here. And now we're just going to struggle. Yeah, we get it. Then you pull the tab around, pull off the plastic. Usually the cards are like vacuum sealed together, so I just like give it a little flick, open them up, fan them out a little bit. Cool. So first of all, we get free Cloud of Darkness. So this is one of the new starter deck exclusive cards. So it comes in the starter deck. It's non-foil. It's a little bit annoying. I wish they like would foil out at least one of the starter deck cards, just so it feels like you got something a little bit special. But it seems like the serial number says 10140S, so it looks like these will be available as foils in the next set, which is set 10. Next, we have 3 copies of Terra. So again, I believe this is another starter deck exclusive. When Terra enters the field, choose one summon your break zone, add it to your hand. When you cast summon, choose a 4 your opponent controls, deal it 2,000 damage. So basically, it's like a 2 CP forward, and it's also got EX burst and gets you a summon from your bin. So it's actually pretty good. And it's a Fire Terra. Next, we have 3 copies of Ace. Ace is another starter deck exclusive card. So it seems like these starter decks, they have. It looks like they still have what, 5 exclusive cards in each deck. So you'll be getting 10 exclusive cards in total with this package. Yeah. So this Ace, you get another Ace backup. When Ace enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Choose one forward, your opponent controls deal 5,000 damage, so that's pretty standard. We've already got a backup that already does that in the form of Vivi. Or you've got a second ability, which is you may pay fire. When you do so, choose one forward, your opponent controls and deal 9,000 damage. So the exchange off is if you play Vivi, you get EX burst to deal 5,000 damage, or playing Ace allows you to pay an extra 3, so effectively 5 CP to deal 9k. So it does give you a little bit of flexibility. It's not the most cost-efficient way to do it, but yeah. So that's the Fire and Light and the Dark exclusives. Next, we have 3 copies of Ayame. This is a card that we've seen before. Then 3 Frit. Then 2 Selfie. 3 Black Mage. And yeah, these are all cards that we've seen before in the game. 2 Ifrit. And here we go. Next, we have another exciting thing about this release is that we have a new full art version of Phoenix. So, yeah, so typically these 2-player starter decks, they generally have pretty good value in that you get a couple of legends in them. So in this case, in the Wraith side deck, you get 3 copies of Phoenix, and they're all legendaries, but one of the Phoenixes that you get is going to be a full art Phoenix. So yeah, that's actually really cool. So unfortunately, it doesn't come in foil, which is kind of annoying. And I don't believe you will be able to get these like full art in foil. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, if you're a player that does enjoy playing Phoenix and you don't have a foil version, then picking up the starter deck allows you to upgrade it to the full art Phoenix version, which actually looks pretty damn sweet, to be honest. Yeah. Next we have another 2 Ifrits. And then here we go. Next card. Next starter deck exclusive card, we have 3 copies of Kefka. So this is another starter deck exclusive card. So 4 cost 7k, EX burst. When Kefka attacks, choose one forward your opponent controls and one forward you control. Break them. So do note that unlike Famfrit, this does say choose. So You can choose one of your opponent's forwards and choose one of yours, and then you can sacrifice one of yours in response to the effect, and you still get to blow one of your opponent's guys up, I'm pretty sure. And it's also an EX burst as well. That being said, though, if you don't have a forward on the field when you do this, then yeah, you won't be able to break one of your opponent's forwards at all because you don't have a forward on your side to choose. It doesn't say choose up to either, so it means that if Kefka is alone on your side of the field and your opponent's got a crap forward, that means Kefka has to kill himself or break himself. So yeah, there does seem to be some very interesting restrictions on this Kefka. But the second ability is when a character opponent controls is put from the field into a break zone, you may pay 1. If you do so, draw 1 card, and that's actually pretty crazy because it doesn't seem to be a once per turn type effect. So yeah, potentially there can be a turn where you can just like blow up a ton of your opponent's stuff, then draw a ton of cards. So I'm actually pretty excited to experiment and try out with this card. So yeah, 3 copies of those. And next, the last exclusive side deck card for the Wraith set is Shantoto. It's a 9 cost, 9,000 power forward. It's a little bit expensive, but if your opponent controls 7 or more characters, the cost of playing Shantoto on the field is reduced by 3, so it goes down to a 6 cost 9,000, which is kind of standard. And then when Shantoto is sent to field, select one of the 2 following actions. Choose one character of cost 3 or less in your break zone, play it, or choose one character of cost 3 or less your opponent controls, break it. So it definitely seems that you'll more likely be using the ability to play a character, usually a forward of cost 3 or less from your break zone. In which case, yeah, for 6 CP and a 9k, you are getting a free CP body as well. So that's actually pretty good. So yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to trigger off the cost reduction of your opponent having 7 more characters, because it does require your opponent to have very much a developed board. But when you do, it's actually pretty good. And next, we have another full art. So we have Cecil. So Cecil is actually from set 5, and set 5 is actually one of the most valuable sets in the game, just because it's got a lot of high price cards, such as Porum, Phoenix, Wall. So it's a very it's a very valued set, and Cecil is actually a very good legendary in the set. And again, we get 3 copies of Cecil, and one of them will be a full art version. So I guess that does encourage some people to buy 3 copies of this starter deck just so they can like just full art all their Cecils, and then have like 8 Cecils just left over to trade away. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So you get 3 Cecils, one of them is full art. We get 3 Vincents, and these came in the new set. Opus 9, 3 Rydias, 2 Rydias, 2 Miners, Momodi, Geomancer, and 2 Carbuncles. So yeah, it seems like there's a lot of good value in this starter deck. The 2 full art like summons alone actually is pretty good value. Well, the 2 full arts are pretty good value, and then you get a whole bunch of starter deck cards as well. So it's actually really good value. And yeah, it seems like quite a few of the cards are pretty interesting. I didn't talk about Cloud of Darkness, which is the dark card. So yeah, at the end of each of your turns, remove the top card of your deck from the game. Cloud of Darkness gains plus 1,000 power for each card removed by Cloud of Darkness' ability, so she does get bigger every turn. And when Cloud of Darkness leaves the field, and do note it says leaves the field, so it doesn't have to be sent to the break zone. So if it's returned to your hand, or if it's sent anywhere else, or even removed from the game, then you still get a card. You still get its ability. So when it does leave the field, add one of the cards removed by Cloud of Darkness' ability, and put the rest of the cards in the break zone. So there's some interesting things you can do with this. It does say put the rest of the cards in the break zone. So when Cloud of Darkness does leave the field, all those extra cards go from your move from play pile into your bin. So if you are playing a strategy that wants to fill its bin, such as maybe the Gold Bear strategy, then this might be actually a very interesting solution for that as well. And also just get you a card back. So effectively it becomes a 1 CP forward eventually, and yeah, it gets bigger and bigger every turn. So it's actually a pretty good card. So yeah, so that's one side of the starter deck. I'm gonna put these aside, and then we're going to have a look at the other side. So that was the Wraith side. I don't really know thematically what's up with the Wraiths, because it seems like Cloud Darkness is the only Wraith. But let's see, the other side is the Knight side. Interestingly enough, so the title card, or the flagship card for the Knight side is Onion Knight. And here's the thing, Onion Knight isn't even a knight, he's an Onion Knight. So like, yeah, these guys, they've got their themes a little bit off, I'd say. Here we go. So loosen this up a little bit. Cool. So first of all, we got 3 copies of Onion Knight. Again, I wish that they'd foil out some of these cards. But yeah, you will be able to get these cards as foils in the new set, except for the full arts. So Onion Knight, 3 cost 7k, so just exactly like Cloud of Darkness. When Onion Knight deals damage to your opponent, you may search for one card named Onion Knight and add it to your hand, so that's pretty good. It's Very similar to a lot of the ice forwards, where when you deal damage to your opponent discards a card, but in this case you draw a card, and it's light, so you can play it in any element. It's also got 2 S abilities, so Blade Torrent, S. Until the end of the turn, Onion Knight gains plus 1000 power, haste, and first strike and brave, so it's a great combat ability. Second ability is Meteor. Choose on forward, deal damage equal to Onion Knight's power. So yeah, so I guess it combos really well with Blade Torrent as well. So you can play Onion Knight, you can use Blade Torrent, make it AK Haste First Strike Brave, which means you can swing with it, and he's active still. And then you can use Meteor on the same turn, do AK to a guy, and then dull it. So it does require two S abilities to trigger off, but considering you do get 1 copy of Onion Knight from your deck when you do attack your opponent successfully, yeah, it's probably going to be pretty easy to fulfill this condition. So yeah, I like this card. And it's going to be fun to experiment around with. Now, talking about cards to experiment around with, we have 3 copies of Van. So he's a 6-cost, 8,000 power forward, so a little bit below the curve. But when he enters the field, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Play 1 forward that costs 3 or less among them onto the field. And then shuffle the other cards back to the bottom of your deck. If you receive 5 points of damage or more this game, perform this action twice. So you can get 2 guys off this forward, so it's actually really good value, especially if you're on high damage. And this is one of those cards where I'm really excited to be tinkering and experimenting around with, and we get 3 copies of him. Next, we get a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. We have Kane. So he's a 3-cost 5,000 power forward. He's got haste, and it seems that increasingly we see more and more win cards have haste. Kane doesn't receive any damage except battle damage. And also his S ability is until the end of the turn, Kane gets plus 5,000 power and first strike. Do note that his job is Holy Knight, not Holy Dragoon, as opposed to just like regular Dragoon. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to sort of do with this card at the moment. But he is Category 4, which does mean he can be played in mono wind, and he does get buffed by cards like Edge as well. So yeah, not really 100% sure about this card. Definitely seems like probably one of the least favorite cards from this start deck. So next we have a full art Onion Knight. So it makes sense that if this deck is about Onion Knights, that we'd have a full art Onion Knight. Although this Onion Knight is a little bit less like sort of versatile than compared to say Cecil or a Phoenix, because this does put you very specifically into a window lightning strategy. So it's a great card. It's cool that it's got full art. So we got 1 full art version and 2 non-full, like 2 standard versions. Yeah. So yeah, that Onion Knight's a little bit less versatile. So yeah, we got 2 Adels, 3 Hope. This is the mother and father Hope, it looks like. Yep. We got 2 Noras, 2 Pinello, so it looks like we got ways to search for Van and a little bit of Sky Pirates going on. We got 3 Moogle 11, so these allow you to search for any cards. Pretty much all the commons and uncommons that you get in star decks are generally not worth that much, because commons and uncommons are pretty cheap, so yeah, we don't have to run through them. But look at this, we get full art Diabolos. And wow, so Diabolos is like a complete mainstay in win strategies and win decks. Most of them like run free copies of this card, so having a full art version is really, really good. And again, comes from the most expensive set, or the most valuable set in the game, which is set 5. So it does make some of these like more premium cards a little bit more accessible. And also, yeah, just having a full art version looks freaking sweet. Yeah, it looks freaking good, man. Unfortunately, what the hell? Is this right? 2 copies of Diabolos? Wow, they stinged out on Diabolos. I guess they didn't want to tank the secondary market's value on them. That's really weird that they only gave you 2 Diabolos. But I guess one of them's full art. I guess you get more full arts. That's weird. How many full arts? So it seems like Diabolos and Onion Knight full art, and we got a Lightning full art. Whereas the other side only got 2 full arts? That's weird. So next we have another starter exclusive. We have Lightning. So she's a 4-cost AK, which is standard, but during this turn, if you attack with 2 or more forwards you control, the cost of playing Lightning onto the field is reduced by 3, so she becomes a 1 CPE AK4, which is actually really good. And also her S ability, Crushing Blow, choose up to 2 forwards, dull them, then draw 1 card. So I don't see you using the S ability too often, but yeah, being able to play a AK forward on 1 CP is actually pretty good, especially with Lightning, because a lot of their guys have haste as well. Next we have one of the new cards, Ramza. So Ramza is a 5-cost backup. When Ramza enters the field, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 forward, backup, and 1 summon among them into your hand, and the rest of the cards into the break zone. It's also got a Lightning, 1 dull, put Ramza into the break zone, choose 1 monster, break it. So I've run the maths on this card, and it's actually very, very solid. I'll put a video up very soon, or it's either on my channel already, where we talk about the maths of Ramza, but it's actually surprisingly good and a lot more consistent than people will think. Next we have 3 Onion Knights. He's kind of whatever, a great card. Lightning. So yeah, we got looks like 3 copies of Lightning. So we got 1 full art version and 2 non-full art versions. Yeah, it's kind of weird because it doesn't seem like there are too many FF13 cards in this set, in this deck. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to trigger this off. But yeah, it's a great card and I really liked it. It comes from Opus 4, which is also a pretty reasonably valuable set as well. So yeah, we get 3 copies of her. And again, the full arts on these just look amazing. They really chose good cards to put full arts on. Next we have 3 Allure. So yeah, so Allure was a really high chase card in the set that she was revealed in. But unfortunately, because she was given out as a monthly promo early this year, yeah, the value of these are a little bit lower, generally because you want to be picking up the full art versions from your local league. But if you don't have them, then I guess here are very easy free copies for you. Next we have 2 Red Mage. Looks like 3 Cannoneer and 2 Ramu. And then that's pretty much it. So overall, that's the new Wraith Vs Knight starter deck. If you guys got any questions about these cards, do let me know in the comment section down below. I'll probably put up a separate video discussing these new cards and their impacts and what I think about them. But until next time, Grand J out.